Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and from the Lord Jesus Christ. I was glad when they said to me, "Let us go into the house of the Lord." I'm Father Steve Sellers, and thank you so much for tuning in today for this brief daily message of hope. I'm taking a couple of days to visit family, so I'm out of my normal environment for a while over on the East Coast. And I've been thinking this morning about our first lesson from Mass today, this incredible encounter between Abraham and God, where God reveals to Abraham what he is preparing to do to the wicked cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. And Abraham begins to negotiate with God to see if he can get God to spare the two cities. It's an extraordinary encounter where Abraham begins by saying, if there are 50 righteous people, will you not spare the city for their behalf? And God says, for the sake of 50, I will not destroy them. Then Abraham said, don't count this against me, Lord, but if there are 5 less than that, if there are 45 righteous people, will you spare them? And God says, for the sake of the 45, I will spare them. And then Abraham comes back against it. If there are 40, will you spare them? And he goes from 40 to 30. If there are 30, will you please spare them? Or if there are 20. Finally, Abraham says, oh, Lord, please do not hold this against me, but if there are only 10 righteous, will you spare the cities? And God said, if there are 10 righteous people, I will spare them. It's an extraordinary encounter between God and Abraham. It's one of those experiences that has led to Abraham being called a righteous person, standing in front of people and into the face of God and pleading for the lives of people that he didn't even know. Now, unfortunately, we know that those two cities, Sodom and Gomorrah, were destroyed. And of course, which indicates from that passage in Genesis that there were not 10 righteous people. I'm struck by the fact that Abraham's heart was moved by people he didn't even know. Now, some of them he did know. Lot and his family, his nephew, had settled in that area. And so Abraham, in a sense, was defending Lot's people, but Lot was in a people that he didn't know either. They were the newcomers to that area, and yet Abraham's heart was moved by them. One of the things that is important for us is that we remember the divine order that God has for our lives, where we put Him first, we put others second, and we put ourselves third. That's what Jesus said when He gave the summary of the law in Matthew's Gospel and in Mark's Gospel, where He said, the first and great commandment is this: love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. The second commandment is equal to it or likened to it: love your neighbor as you love yourself. The divine order for our lives: God first, others second, self third. Our world is in a scary place right now, and our lives can get in scary places when we invert that order and put ourselves first. That is a life that by definition is out of order. We put the Lord first. He's brought us here. He's with us through the difficulties, and these are difficult days for a great many of us. But God is with us through all of them. When we keep our eyes focused on Him, and we let our hearts be moved with compassion for those around us, interceding for them, helping them, praying for them, seeking to do works of mercy, not for our own benefit, but because it's the right thing to do, and God has called us to do that. Then, of course, we put ourselves on that list too, because it's not wrong to take care of ourselves. I hope you have a blessed day today, and remember that God is with you through all of this. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, He's with you. He loves you, and He's given you work to do. First of all, to love Him and acknowledge Him, and then look for those around you that you can help. Be kind and compassionate. There's no greater love than that, to have love for a neighbor, especially if you don't even know who they are. You love them because God said it's the right thing to do. Have a blessed day today, and God willing, I will see you right here again tomorrow.